we heard from Margaret Liz. Second page of the notebook, I show there, page 149. I can't find where those page sketches and dialogue were used. A scene not used? Question mark. Why not? Question mark. Thanks. And got that through on the facts. Thank you. And taking a closer look at it, and then Margaret actually relayed what her reading was on the page, and I went, right, it is the death of Weishaupt, which I couldn't find because I thought it was around issue 76. It was an unused scene from the death of Weishaupt issue. And no, it was earlier than that, when I was still asking myself questions about, okay, well, which do I want to do? Do I want to build the suspense of, is Weishaupt going to make it, or is he sinking fast? Is he going to die? When is he going to die? And it was difficult at the time because that was just coming off of the short stories that I hadn't done before. It's like I want to give the ambiance of everything that's going on in Church and State without having to get bogged down in large blocks of text, although I'm going to use those as well. So when I'm jumping around, do I jump to Weishaupt and then someplace else, and then back to Weishaupt and then someplace else? Because there's X number of pages that I've got before I really have to start dealing with the ascension itself, and how many of those pages can I devote to Weishaupt? So it was, I think I can devote about an issue to Weishaupt. So do I do part of an issue with Weishaupt dying, or do I do the foreshadowing? Is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? And then just use up part of an issue. And after the point where I wrote that page and sort of sketched in that page, I looked at it and went, okay, how much does this advance the story? And how much is this in order to build attention, and the apprehension about this very important central character dying? Where do I want to be putting that? And that was when I made the decision. Looking at the sketch that you're talking about, I liked the mannequin style head with Weishaupt's powdered wig on it, and that was about the only part of the sequence that I thought, okay, this is really advancing it. He's not conscious. He's not really coherent. So it's just people talking about him. The pacing would convey what I want to convey, but pacing is eating up pages and eating up panels in order to convey, the seriousness of this character dying or not dying. And ultimately decided, no, I think I want to take all of the pages and put them into 76. The kind of pacing that I'm talking about doing right when Weishaupt is dying, I want Cerebus to come and see him, and I want all of the Moody panels, the silent panels that have the pacing that I'm picturing in my head. Cerebus as a silhouette against Weishaupt's library shelves. I knew exactly how I wanted to play it, and it's like, now it's going to be better all there. As an example, somebody at the level of influence of Weishaupt and the level of importance of Weishaupt, it would be a much lengthier process once Cerebus got there in the carriage. Excuse me. Once Cerebus got there in the carriage to actually get in to see Weishaupt. It would be, there's layers between walking off of the street and getting in to see Weishaupt. And you'll notice that apart from the large panel of, Cerebus being welcomed and Weishaupt has things to tell you, it goes right from there to just Cerebus and Weishaupt. Again, there would probably be hangers-on in the vicinity that Weishaupt would have to get rid of once Cerebus was there, and he could see that it wasn't a major security problem, and he just did want to explain it to Cerebus. So, yeah, it was one of those times that I went, I need to use up a lot of pages on this to have the correct tone for it. And I think I want to be very stingy and a little clever about not having the setup go exactly the way it would go in that situation, and just really cut to the chase. But the chase is really, really slow, with lots of slow panels and very skimpy dialogue, and it worked in that sense. But the same as Cerebus has the physical confrontation with the dying Weishaupt, and I'm picturing how to do that, and I'm going, well, I've got him in bed, and dying / not dying. If he's actually dying and he dies in issue 76, how do I get him out of the bed? He's got to be sitting up for he and Cerebus to have confrontation that they do. The size of bed that he'd have, Cerebus is not going to be able to reach him from the side of the bed, and that's the thinking that you're looking at. Where, okay, this would be good, but it's not accomplishing what I need to accomplish. So jettison this part and front load this part over here.
Which is kind of weird now that I think about it, because if that sequence had been put in, it would have been another one of those motifs through the whole series, because it's Weishaupt dying in bed, there's Melmoth dying in bed, there's Surin in Mothers and Daughters injured in bed, possibly dying, there's sort of the opening of Guys when Cerebus is really drunk and they're moving him around for the Squint Eye and Pluto signing, where, there's somebody who's unconscious but they're talking around him. And then it all leads up to the last day where Cerebus is in bed. It's one of them through lines that just, I never really thought about it, but now, I got a week's worth of blog posts. Thanks, Dave.
Well, you're quite welcome, Matt. Yeah, it is one of those, being conscious of that. Do I want to jettison that? And, no, it would be nice to have that through continuity, but you're setting yourself up for, okay, how does Cerebus smack Weishaupt if he's in the middle of a president-sized bed? And it's nobody noticed because they didn't get to see that part and go, okay, I can't really believe how you did that.